This lesson is about while true loops, and it's an extension from our previous lesson about while loops in general. Today, we're going to use a while true loop to basically create a set of instructions that the computer can perform an infinite number of times, or at least until a certain condition is met. So, for example, if we start with the variable keep running to have our program continue to run for an infinite number of times, we can tell the computer that that specific condition is now true. So notice how the T has turned to if the T is a capital T, the letter turns green along with the rest of the word. So anytime you see a word in Python and it shows up as a different color, something other than your basic black like you see in keep running, you know it's a key word in Python. So if that were a lowercase t, we would run into probably some errors. So with that variable set, I can tell the computer to do something while that variable equals true. So I'll type in while keep running equals true, and notice we have two equal signs because it's kind of like asking the computer a question, or it's kind of a condition. We can say input, press enter. So if we run this, you can see it comes up, press enter, and I do that, and I do that, and I'll keep doing it. And I can promise you, I'm going to get sick of doing that before the computer does. So it's one of those benefits of technology where you can get the computer to do some boring stuff for you if you need boring stuff to be done. So the only way to make that stop is to hit your stop button on Mu or whatever IDE you're using. So we can start to think about how that might be useful. So I'd like you to take a minute here now and create basically a while true loop just like I have done. Then after that, consider your MathBot program and how it might be useful to add a while loop. So right now with your MathBot program, basically once you've run a certain mathematical operation, addition, subtraction, an average or what have you, the program then is just kind of done. But we can set it up so that we can have the program continue to run until you tell it not to, or until the user tells it not to. So to do that, we can start with the variable finished, but it has to come right at the beginning of your program. And we can set that to false because obviously we want the program to run, so it shouldn't already be finished. So after doing that, we can add our while loop, while finished, equals false. And again, I'll remind you to notice the capital F in false and it turns colored. And every while statement is going to have the colons there after the condition. So while our variable finished equals false, do the following. So in order for Python to recognize what you want it to do in the while loop, we have to have everything indented one time, so one tab. So the easy way to do that is to highlight all of your code and click tab. So that'll look like this. Everything moves over. So now we have to add another elif command, because if the user doesn't choose one of the mathematical operations, it should have the opportunity to choose to leave the game or program. So if we head down towards the bottom, it doesn't have to go at the bottom, but before the else condition, we can say elif and equals by And again, you have the indent. We can say finished equals true. And I'm going to add in there just something to make it a little bit more obvious that it's doing what we want it to. We can have a little print statement saying, see you next time. So let's see if that works. So what is your name? I'll go with Obi. What kind of math do you want to do? And I'm going to type in bye. And it says see you next time. So it's just a way out of that program. So you can experiment with that, try seeing what happens when you type in something other than bye. Has your program accounted for things that you can't predict, which you should have in your else statement down below? And does it work if you type in one of your mathematical operations? Will it give you an opportunity to do more? So I'll leave this at that, and I hope that helps. And please ask me if you have any questions. All right, happy coding.